Good morning, Year 6. Mr. Long here with Maths. I just thought I'd put a very quick video together to give a bit of extra support to help you how to multiply by 10, 100 and 1000. If you've already done the White Rose video and you've understood it and you're happy to get on with your task, then please ignore this video. You don't need it. But if you're a little bit confused and want some extra help, then this might be just for you. So, if I were to ask you what 3 times 10 was, I'm sure all of you would very quickly tell me that the answer is 30. I wonder if I can write this down in this case. I did try to use my visualizer for this lesson, by the way, but it was very blurry and I thought it might confuse some of you. So apologies for my smartboard handwriting. If I were to ask you to multiply 37 times 10, I think many of you would also know what to do. I think you would tell me that it's 370. Now then, you probably knew that 3 times 10 was 30 because you know your 3 times table, you know your 10 times table. And when I've spoken to pupils in the past, when I've asked them how they would know that 37 times 10 is 370, they've told me that they just add a 0 on the end. And whilst that technically might be true, that's all it looks like you've done, we couldn't do that for every multiplication question. For example, 3.7 times 2, if we simply said that the answer, that we simply put a 0 on the end, we would have 3.70 as our answer. Now then, if 3 times 10 is 30, then 3.7 times 10 must still be 30 something. So it can't simply be 3.70 because 3.70 is exactly the same as 3.7. 3.70 could also be the same as 3.7000000 forever. What we've actually done when we multiply by 10 is we've moved the entire number one column to the left. So we know that 3 times 10 is 30. But if we have a look here, what I've done is I've put the decimal point directly below the decimal point. I've actually put in 3.00 here because 3 is the same as 3 whole numbers and no parts of a number. So I've put that in just to make it clear that if we use it as a decimal, 3 is the same as 3.00. Now then, put the decimal point in, I've gone times 10 and I've moved it one column to the left to make it 30. This is a long-winded way of what you already did in your head, I'm sure, saying 3 times 10. But as it gets more complicated, it's worth understanding this method. 37.0. We knew that it was 370, but what we've done, we've lined up a decimal point, moved the 37 one place to the left. So I've moved this 3 one place to the left, and now we have, and we've put in a placeholder 0, look, as we've moved it one place to the left, and we have 370. Now, on to our 3.7. 3.7. If we write our answers like this, by the way, we'll never go wrong. Put a decimal point into the left, and we are going to move our 3 one place to the left, giving us an answer of 37. Now I've put 0.00 in because that just helps me know that there's a decimal point in and there's no other numbers coming past. Our actual answer is 37. Can you see that 37 is exactly the same as 37.00? Okay, let's move on to 100. In fact, before we do you note that when we've moved one place to the left, 10 has 1 0. and we've moved one place to the left. So guess what we're going to do when we multiply by 100? If we said 23 by 100, 23 times 100, sorry, we could say that 23 is exactly the same as 23.00. And if I move the 23, put the decimal point in, and move 2 places this time because I've got 2 zeros, move 2 places to the left. Maybe I'll do it down here for you. 1, 2. I now have my 23. I need to put 2 placeholder zeros in. 2, 3, 0, 0. I put the decimal point in, and I've just put zeros in again here to make it clear there's no extra decimals. So 2300 is of course the same as 2300. I've put the decimal point in, I've moved 2 places to the left because there's 2 zeros. I might have another one under here. Let's have a look. So 5.43 times 100. What am I going to do? I'm going to put a decimal point in below the 5 here. Decimal point in line. I've got 2 zeros in my question, and I'm going to move the number 2 places to the left. 1, 2, move the whole number. I move the 4 2 places to the left and the 3 2 places to the left, and I have 543.00. No other digits left, so my answer is 543. And finally, if we're going to multiply by 1,000, guess what? We don't move it 1 place, we don't move it 2 places. We're going to move it 3 places because, of course, 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. But how did we do it? We said 8 is the same as 8.00, and we can put a decimal point in directly below. Change colours, that's a bit gaudy, isn't it? Move the decimal point in below, move the 8 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, and we fill in the spaces with placeholder zeros. And we've moved it 3 times, so we need 3 zeros as placeholders. And our answer will therefore be 8,000. I think I've got one more here for you. This yellow is a bit bright first thing in the morning, isn't it? So 7.23 times 1,000. So for my answer, to calculate my answer, I'm going to put a decimal point directly below the decimal point here, and I'm going to move my 7. How many zeros have I got? 3 zeros. Move the 7 3 times to the left. 1, 2, 3. And all the other numbers follow. 1, 2, 3 to the left. Because my decimal point is in line, I need to add a placeholder 0. And so I have 7,230.00, which is the same as 7,230. I do hope your handwriting and presentation is neater than my smartboard writing here today. But that's the end. That's as simple as it is to multiply by 10, 100, and 1,000. I hope that helps. Feel free to either continue with the white rose questions, which are the equivalent of a silver question, or you can go onto the Word document where you can do bronze. If you finish the white rose questions, which as I say is the equivalent of silver, you can have a go at gold or challenge from the Word document that's also attached, but you don't have to. Do one set of questions, and if you're comfortable, then that's enough for you to do. Don't try and do everything today. Hope you've enjoyed that. Hope that's helpful. Bye-bye for now.